to this video. This is Tina from Tinaheals.com, and this video will take you through the journey of Black Moon Lilith through the 12 astrological signs. Okay, so I've already explained to you the meaning of Black Moon Lilith in the two previous videos, so catch them. Basically, Black Moon Lilith symbolizes our feminine, unbridled, raw sexual power. It's everything that we want to repress. It's our rage. It's our hidden anger. It's everything that it's our unworthiness as well. Okay, so Black Moon Lilith is of the energy signature of Pluto. She's a mini Pluto, but Black Moon Lilith is a zone of void. Okay, it's not really an astrological body, but it is a point in space. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a fire sign. It's a sign of the leader. It's a sign of the dominant. So here, Black Moon Lilith is dominant, is very attractive, is very seductive, is very intimidating. Okay, it's very politically active as well. Now, the fear that Black Moon Lilith has in Aries is the feeling of being unworthy. So if you have your Black Moon Lilith in Aries, you may suffer from a feeling of unworthiness, because Aries has to do with identity. So here you may not be happy with the identity that you've created. You may need to work through that, and you may need to understand what a Black Moon Lilith in Aries is trying to tell you. Now, another thing that you will see with the Black Moon Lilith placed in Aries is that these people tend to lose a lot of good opportunities. And why is that? It's because oftentimes they just don't think they are good enough. Okay, and they may put up a show that they think they are the greatest thing going and they're the hottest thing going, but deep down there is always a sense of vulnerability with this placement. There is always a sense of not being worthy enough. Okay, now Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. So Taurus is a feminine earth sign. It deals with the earth and the physical body, ruled by Venus. So here Black Moon Lilith can develop eating disorders. Okay, that's something you may need to work through, and also theft. Why? Because here Black Moon Lilith's fear is of poverty. Taurus is all about material security and stability. So here Black Moon Lilith is petrified of being poor. But oftentimes these people may repeat vicious self-sabotage patterns and remain poor, although their greatest fear is being poor. To any Taurus individual, the sense of security is very important, whatever you have placed in Taurus. So with Black Moon Lilith, this you are always seeking money, finances, stability, security, and you can be avaricious, honestly. And here you fear poor people, or you may judge poor people or ridicule them, because deep down this stems from an internal insecurity and has nothing to do with poor people as poor people, but a sense of you feeling the fear of being poor. So you just want to ridicule it and avoid it. Okay. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Gemini. Gemini is all about communication. So here, Black Moon Lilith will be seductive in her communication. A very attractive voice, very drop in a Taurus ascendant, then yeah, definitely very, very attractive voice. Black Moon Lilith has in Taurus. Sorry, I'm speaking about Gemini. So here in Gemini, she has seductive communication. I threw in the Taurus ascendant and went back to Taurus. So here, Black Moon Lilith is afraid of being misunderstood, because Gemini is actually about communication. And from being misunderstood, there's this fear of rejection. So if you have Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, then you may be a really powerful communicator, seductive, magnetic communicator. But your deepest fear is the fear of rejection. I mean, you do anything to be rejected, not to be rejected, you know. Now, another thing is this can breed liars. Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, there could be a propensity to lying, and sometimes this can uh, take it to a pathological level. So lying is something that in its lower vibrations, Black Moon Lilith can catch on over here. Okay. Now, this energy is really curious as fuck. Okay. So there's always this movement of back and forth here and there movement with Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, and they're always doing things to get approval, not because they believe in it, or not because they really take a stance and stand by it, but because they want approval. And that can be shallow, and Gemini is known to be shallow in its lower vibrations, so that's something to watch out for. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Cancer is a very interesting archetype, because Cancer is about the mother. Cancer is about home and what we find familiar. And Black Moon Lilith is that sexuality, that unbridled feminine sexuality. So there is always a mother whore dichotomy with this archetype. At one level, you want to mother your partner. On one level, you want to be as open. What is a whore? Someone who's uninhibited. So there is the sense of uninhibited motherliness. Maybe if you take into the king of adult breastfeeding, this could be the category that it'll go into. Okay, Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Now, with Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, the greatest fear of these people is abandonment, because Cancer cannot feel abandonment, because they are family, right? They need people around them, and this can take an obsessive stance. So they become tremendously needy and clingy, and this can drive people crazy. They don't want to spend a second alone. They always want to be with their partner. So this is obviously not healthy, because this can become codependent, and this can give a, make your partner unhappy. Aggressiveness. And oftentimes with a Black Moon Lilith and Cancer, there is a dark childhood that this individual has experienced. Okay, some form of trauma, some form of tragedy has definitely struck them while growing up. Another thing is that they spend so much time being dependent on others, that what they need to develop is their independence. And that is the key to finding balance with Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Finding your independence. Yes, people are around you. Yes, people are important. But you need your independence. And sometimes it's even financial independence that's needed to come into your own power. So Black Moon Lilith in Cancer definitely needs to understand independence. Okay. Black Moon Lilith in Libra. Okay, now there could be a propensity towards gambling and debts with this. Okay, gambling, debts, just going uh, completely loco and gambling. Black Moon Lilith in Libra, be careful. Okay, another thing is that this placement can bring in tremendous amounts of vanity. Okay, you are just so into looking nice and putting on that face and looking beautiful, and having everything harmonious, that sometimes you ridicule people who are not beautiful or who don't have it all together, because that's really your fear, that, oh my god, do I have it together, do I have it all together. uh, Black Moon Lilith in Libra, because you see harmony, right? Oh crap, I think I missed Virgo. Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, so I'm gonna have to do Libra again. So wait up, the Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. Now this is again a tremendously problematic placement, because Virgo is all about functionality and sexuality, and sometimes Virgo is not more about sexuality. They tend to repress it. So Black Moon Lilith in Virgo people oftentimes lead such busy lives that they repress their sexuality, and this is not healthy for them. Okay, now Black Moon Lilith in Virgo's greatest fear is fear of failure. Virgo likes to be functional. Virgo likes to feel like they're contributing something and doing something useful work, otherwise their whole life falls apart. So here Black Moon Lilith fears failure. Virgo anyway fears failure. So Black Moon Lilith here, definitely even sexual failure. Failure in bed. A lot of men with Black Moon Lilith placement in Virgo may face impotence, men and women. I mean, I just said men because I just remembered a recent case, but this is something that you've got to work through. Sacral chakra balance, because this speaks of you not being able to perform because you're afraid, and you don't need to be, because it's all up here. And Virgo, everything's up here, ruled by Mercury, so everything is analytical. You hack things apart and then put them back together just to figure out how they work. So you try to do that with sexuality, and sometimes it's a disaster, sometimes it works, but that's what you've got to figure out, the right balance. And Virgo is all about balance, but Black Moon Lilith is not about balance. So there is an inherent dichotomy between these two energies as they come together. So now, envy. Envy can be another problematic part with Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. You're very envious of other people and their success. Okay, because deep down that's what you want. You just want success to kiss your feet, and you want to soar the skies. Now, with Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, issues with health and hygiene can occur, especially in your younger years. But as you grow older, and if you manage to find balance with your Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, then this should not be a problem. Okay, but another thing that you need to find balance with is not be overtly critical and harsh, but be kind to yourself and to others, because Black Moon Lilith in Virgo can really make people feel like shit. So that's not something that you anybody is happy with. So see to that. Now Black Moon Lilith in Libra. So I spoke a bit about it, almost started Libra, but no, I didn't. So let's get to Libra. Now Libra is ruled by Venus. So here it's all about beauty and perfection. So here Black Moon Lilith can be obsessed with trying to find perfection. Okay, and a Libra being the sign of partnerships. Here Black Moon Lilith's greatest fear is fear of loneliness. So if you have your Black Moon Lilith in Libra, you may go to various lengths to just make peace with your partner, because you don't want to be lonely. Okay, you don't want to break things off because you don't want to be lonely. Now another thing with this placement is you focus too much on your appearance and how you appear to the world, but you really don't need to do that. You need to chill out. Okay, and another thing is that you tend to judge people um, on the basis of their perfection quotient, like how perfect are they perfect enough to be your friend? If not, then You don't want to know them. You want to know really chic, sophisticated, refined, uh, upper elite people, you know. So that's something that you've got to figure out, that don't be obsessed trying to find perfection, because perfection really doesn't exist. Everything is perfect in its imperfections, and everything is imperfect in its perfections, right? If that made sense, I hope it did. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. This is deep, this is intense. Now, Black Moon Lilith has not been given rulership of any house or has been given an association with any sign. But many astrologers feel that Black Moon Lilith should be a ruler of Scorpio, because her energy signature is closest to Pluto, as I already described. It's all about regeneration, it's transformative. So Black Moon Lilith is at home in Scorpio, but this placement can make you secretive, very very secretive, and this can even make you obsessed with being manipulative. Okay, like with your partners, like with Libra, Black Moon Lilith in Libra, you're obsessed about finding the right partner, but here you're obsessed about having the right kinky sex with your partner. Okay, because Black Moon Lilith here, the sexuality here is open to taboo, is open to fetish, is open to experimentation. Okay, and sometimes they can be very sexy and very manipulative at the same go, because they must have their way. Okay, and they have such a raw magnetic appeal to them that you just figure out that, okay, uh, they're really powerful people. Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, it's a very powerful position, placement to have. So as I said, they're very much into kinky stuff, so they are not the kind of people to go for the missionary. They want to experiment, they want to try new things, they want to try new toys, they want to try new role plays, because that's what they like, and they're very secretive. So they're not going to easily open up about their sexual preferences either. They like to, play around and really dig deep to find out what you like, and whether you will play along with them or not. You've got to play along with Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio. Okay. Now, as I said, that for these people, life becomes a game all the time, a game that they must win. So this is something. See, it's anything to do with Pluto is about power plays, and Black Moon Lilith in Pluto ruled Scorpio, it definitely takes on this shade of meaning. It's all about power play, so manipulation, and tremendous manipulation, and everything has to be a win for you. It understands power, and it can go heady and crazy with power. And another thing here is that Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio needs to find partners they can save. Okay, because their greatest fear is fear of loss. So they don't want to lose anything. As I said, life becomes a game, they have to win. But even with their partner, they feel like they have to save them, because deep inside they need saving. So that's something that happens with Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio. They need to be saved, but they're always becoming saviors, because their internal need to be saved that pushes them to this finding someone they can save. Interesting how archetypes play out. Now, a Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. This can attract dangerous people, because Sagittarius is so open and so uh, open to new things and new people and new ideas. This can attract some strangers from other countries, maybe other places, other religions, or other whatever, that just attracted to you, but they're dangerous people, and you really don't need them in your life to complicate situations. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius is the fighter for feminism. Okay, this is the sign that has taken up the Black Moon Lilith in Sag has taken up the crusade for feminism. Very powerful. And now Sagittarius is all about meaning. I told you, being ruled by Jupiter, it's about meaning and higher philosophy. And the fear of Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius is feeling of meaninglessness. Now, if they find balance with their Black Moon Lilith, oftentimes these people come up with their own cults or their own philosophies, that, and they find people that follow them, Black Moon Lilith and Sagittarius, because they appear to be this prophetic philosopher. Sag is a philosopher, this um, really open and really wise energy that Black Moon Lilith can have in Sagittarius. As I said, it fights for feminism in this placement. And here, if you have this Black Moon Lilith in Sag, then you truly understand the meaning of an existential crisis. Why are we here? What are we doing? What is the purpose behind all this? What's going on? Why do we have sex? Why do we procreate? Why do we create waste? So this is the very crux of this energy, and you can develop this tremendous apathy for life, like nothing makes sense anymore. And remember, here the fear of Black Moon Lilith and Sag is fear of meaninglessness. So I suggest, if you have this placement, find your meaning. There's nothing more beautiful than that. Find your meaning. Now, a lot of truth movement people are, by the way, Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. So truthers and other, paranormal seekers, a lot of them. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of the innovator, sign of of eccentricity, and here the fear of Black Moon Lilith is powerlessness. Now understand, Aquarius has to do with a lot of power. Okay, and Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius interestingly gives you tremendous power, but what you do with that power is truly up to you and how you use it. I mean, uh, we all are gods, Tattvamasi. That's the crux of the Upanishads, that thou art. But with this placement, you do have the way to understand that. Okay. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn, and your greatest fear is fear of neglect, because you hate to be neglected and you don't like to neglect things. Being ruled by Saturn, the karma bringer, you definitely understand how to tend to things, because Saturn is all about the 3D world and all the systems and structures. So Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn has fear of neglect, as I said, and their biggest problem is that they try to control everything. Okay, they try to control everything, and Capricorn is the archetype of the boss. So it's best that you don't try to control everything, because nothing is truly under control. And here Black Moon Lilith is very slow and sensual and wants to just knead your body and just wants to kiss and be very sensual, because Capricorn is just generally very sensual energy and very domineering. So Black Moon Lilith here, like Aries, is also a dominant energy signature. Like Black Moon Lilith in Leo, very dominant energy signature. Now, I think I already did Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius, but I'll speak about it again, because I just got confused and I got talking about, I missed Capricorn. So black, as I've already mentioned, that black fear of Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius is powerlessness, because they have tremendous power given to them, and some of the most eccentric thinkers have this displacement, but they are open to experimentation in the bedroom, outside and everywhere, okay? And they are open to orgies and open to threesomes and open to things like that because they're all about the community. Aquarius, the 11th sign of the zodiac, deals with the community. So here sexuality can take on a more open, broad-minded perspective, eccentric also, with toys and all that. So I think I've already done Aquarius just a little bit before. Okay, now Black Moon Lilith in a Pisces. Okay, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and here Black Moon Lilith is afraid of vulnerability. Now, Pisces is vulnerability. I've already explained this before, that if you look up where Pisces falls in your natal chart, you will always see that there is a certain amount of trauma associated to that house and everything that it rules. Then for me it's relationships. Okay, seventh house, Pisces. So I know that a trauma exists over there. For you, you can check it out. And here again, the fear of Black Moon Lilith and Pisces is vulnerability. Yet Pisces is all about vulnerability. It's returned to source code, being ruled by Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus. Here you dissolve all your boundaries, okay? Alcohol, Pisces. Now, Black Moon Lilith and Pisces are really scared of being hurt by people around them, by their sexual experiences. And oftentimes they can be quite impressionable because this is a mutable sign after all. So be mindful of that, that you know you don't give in to sexual proclivities because someone insists. No, take your stance, okay? And you also trust too fast with this. But there is a dichotomy here because you have to trust, being Pisces. That's an open part of your, that's an open understanding you have with the universe. You have to trust because Pisces is about love. Jesus Christ came in the age of Pisces, so Christ consciousness is a energy signature of Pisces, you know. So you have to understand that, and you have to understand that here vulnerability, yes, it's all right to feel vulnerable and it's all right to feel afraid, but that should not be a fear, okay? Now Pisces, Black Moon Lilith people can experience paranormal stuff and can even exist in different dimensions. So I saw this video the other day on Facebook about some woman who married a ghost, a 300-year-old pirate, okay? I think in Cornwall or somewhere. So I mean, this kind of a situation is Black Moon Lilith in Pisces, where you fall in love with Love with an Angel. So that kind of thing, you know, Meet Joe Black, when Brad Pitt comes in as Death. So this is the kind of, these are the kind of archetypes that go with Black Moon Lilith and Pisces, and there can be sexual confusion with displacement. So either you're not sure, or you're sure, or you're, uh, you know, you sway. You can be this, you can be that. So again, inner dialogue. You are very intuitive. You're an empath. So figure out what you need internally. Okay. There can be drug use. I say that's with Pisces. With any planet in Pisces, there can be drug use, substance abuse. Be careful of that. Here, you definitely need to find balance with Black Moon Lilith, because otherwise, you know, it can be disastrous. All kinds of, you know, escapisms can take place. Now, yeah, Black Moon Lilith and Pisces is great with role playing and any kind of fantasy. So these people like their bedroom experience to be full of fantasies and role plays. So if your partner has this placement, then you know, check that out. That's going to really work for them. And even the UFO abductees all these X-Files and all these experiences that people have, then they're taken in by aliens and they have intercourse. So this is also, I think, Black Moon Lilith in Pisces. Okay, so remember that Black Moon Lilith actually does quite well in Pisces, because the energy of Black Moon Lilith is like a hallucinogen. And Neptune's energy also can make you hallucinate. So I hope you like that video. Black Moon Lilith through the 12 astrological signs. Yes, it became one video and I wanted to break it up into 12, but please check it out and share with your friends and let me know what you think, and check out my body of work at www.tinaheals.com. Thank you. Bye.